What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another Netflix review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a new sequel that just came out on Netflix today that people have been anticipating who saw the first one, and that is To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You. This movie stars Lena Condor, who was in the first one, and you also have Noah Centineo, who is also back in the sequel, and a new addition to the cast is Jordan Fisher. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. After the first movie where Laura Jean and Peter decide to be in a fake relationship, throughout that fake relationship, they fell in love with each other and they're now boyfriend and girlfriend. And this is where the sequel takes place, where they're just starting their new real relationship. Everything seems to be going really well for them. They really like each other. They're going on different dates, having a fun time. And Laura Jean is discovering throughout high school some other past memories she had in terms of the love letters that her sister and her sent out. And then an old face of hers when she was a child comes into the picture, and that is this new guy. So a new love triangle begins. Now, I made it my 2020 goal to watch more Netflix movies this year so I can do more Netflix type of videos like an end of the year list. And this was a movie that just came out today, and it had a previous installment before that I watched yesterday for the first time, To All the Boys I Loved Before. I actually really enjoyed that movie a lot more than I thought I did, and so I was interested to see what this sequel was, just to prepare for it and tell you guys my thoughts on it. And so I watched the sequel today just to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on it, and if it's worth checking out on Netflix. I can say To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You is a solid sequel and follow-up to the first movie. I don't think it's better than the first one. I still prefer the first, but I thought this one had the feels and the comedy like the first one. My favorite part about both of these movies is how they depict high school life. Like, the first one really shows you the depths of junior year in high school. I really love when directors showcase how brutal, real high school can be sometimes, like The Edge of 17 in 2016, I think was the most recent film that really depicted high school really well. But in this one, I actually love how they depicted the way high school is in terms of relationships and how it can be good or bad. You have all the characters from the first movie back in the sequel: Laura Jean, Peter, Margot, Kitty, the really uptight former ex-girlfriend to Peter, the gay black friend, Lucas. Like, all the characters that you enjoyed from the first movie are back in here, and it just felt like a good feeling like the first one did. I love the relationship between the main characters, Laura Jean and Peter, in this sequel a lot more. I actually really buy their relationship, their chemistry together, their jokes back and forth with one another. And the thing with this sequel is that they feel a lot more comfortable with each other about opening up in terms of what they're feeling with one another. And this sequel really dives in to the more serious sides of relationships. Sometimes we have to be honest with one another in terms of sequences, and I thought the movie did a great job of showing the bright sides of high school relationships and also the downsides if you mess up. There's a new character that comes into here. His name's John, I believe, and his character as well has a really great personality and background to our main character. And I actually really liked him as well. The movie does a good job of depicting the male characters and them having good sides about them and bad sides as well. You can either pick whatever team you want, Peter or John, and they actually do have great chemistry with the lead character. One of my favorite characters from the first movie, and in this movie was one of the bright spots, was the dad in this film. I really liked him in the first one, and in this one, he goes on a little bit of a love streak as well. And if you have seen the first movie, you know that our main character and her family lost their mother. She passed away. And the father character is really trying to move on from that. And what they do with his character in here was pretty sweet and awesome. It has a really sweet love story, great comedy, just good high school elements that you can buy, and that this director understands what high school was like in terms of relationships. There are a couple characters in this movie that were either not in this one or didn't have a lot of screen time, like Israel Broussard. He played Josh in the first one, and he was also in the Happy Death Day movies. His character wasn't in this movie, and I was kind of confused, like, where is the Josh character I saw from the first one? Like, did he just didn't have time to do it? I really enjoyed his character in the first one, and I was questioning where he was. And of course, Margot, the older sister in the first one, was one of the bright spots of the first movie. The relationship between sister and sister added a good element to that movie. And if you've had siblings before, you can really feel that relationship. She's only in one scene in this movie, and that kind of disappointed me. It's the typical she's going to Scotland to study school type of storyline, just like the first one. The storyline feels like a recycled storyline from the first one, a typical love triangle between two guys who want the same girl, our lead character, Laura Jean. And except it doesn't have a fake relationship storyline like the first one, it's actually real. Just felt like it was kind of predictable, this one, compared to the first one. They're both kind of predictable, but this one feels like it's borrowing recycled plot elements from the first one. It's like, okay, maybe something different could have been nice, but it's not the biggest issue in the world. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You, if you guys are new to this channel and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on To All the Boys sequel, and you really want to see more, please hit that like button and also click that subscribe button, guys, because I do tons of new movie reviews like this, plus Netflix reviews now to my channel. And I do tons of reaction videos, ranking, Blu-ray videos, tons of movie content, and I do it on a weekly basis. In the end, To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You is a solid sequel on Netflix. Not as good as the first one, but it did have a lot of good comedy like the first one. Relationship is more fleshed out, and it's just a fun sequel. So if you've seen the first one and you enjoyed it, I definitely think you'll enjoy this one. On my rating scale, I'm going to give To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You a B-. There you have it, guys. That was my review for the new sequel, To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You on Netflix. Have you guys seen this movie? And did you see the first movie? Which one would you prefer, the first one or the second one? I have a bunch of reviews coming out this weekend, including Sonic, Downhill, Fantasy Island, The Photograph, tons of new release movies, and reviews coming your guys' way, so look forward to all of those. Thank you guys as always for watching this review. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!